Commercial property owners in Texas face severe financial and legal consequences if mold contamination is managed outside state regulations. The risk encompasses structural devaluation, litigation, and the loss of operational occupancy. This diagram shows Texas Form PC326 MDR-1, the Certificate of Mold Damage Remediation. Securing this certificate is the primary objective of any regulated mold project. Adopted by the Texas Commissioner of Insurance, this document provides the legal shield property owners required to restore property value and neutralize liability. Validating the certificate requires two distinct, legally binding signature boxes, Box A and Box B. These two signatures document the successful navigation of a multi-stage operational matrix enforced by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation. Relying on a single air test is legally insufficient for obtaining this certificate. A comprehensive operational protocol must be executed before these signatures can be authorized. Every phase of the process is governed by the Texas Mold Assessment and Remediation Rules and the mandates of Senate Bill 1255. Senate Bill 1255 mandates that every individual working on a mold project, from technicians to supervisors, must be individually licensed or registered with the TDLR. To protect property owners, Texas law enforces a strict conflict of interest firewall between the assessment of a threat and its removal. The Mold Assessment Consultant, or MAC, serves as the independent strategist. They identify the moisture source, draft the remediation protocol, and verify the final clearance. The Mold Remediation Contractor, or MRC, is the tactical execution force. They are responsible for containment, physical removal, and moisture control. These two entities cannot be the same company, nor can they share any financial overlap on the same project. In unregulated states, a single firm can identify a hazard and then profit from its removal. Texas law classifies this overlap as a regulatory violation. The legal protection of the CMDR depends on the integrity of this independent verification system. Any contamination affecting 25 contiguous square feet or more triggers full state oversight. The process begins with the Mold Remediation Protocol, prepared by the MAC, dictating the exact scope of work. This protocol specifies containment strategies and analytical criteria required to pass clearance. The remediation contractor must then produce a remediation work plan in direct response. While the MAC's protocol establishes the required objectives, the MRC's work plan provides the instructions for how the technicians will tactically achieve them. These two documents provide the legal foundation for the Post-Remediation Verification Matrix. Post-Remediation Verification is a three-pronged triad consisting of visual, procedural, and analytical evaluations. If any single gateway in this triad fails, the project fails clearance immediately. The first gateway is visual evaluation, conducted by the independent consultant. Under the ANSI IIRC S520 standard, cleaning is defined as the removal of all unwanted contaminants, dust, and debris. The S520 defines actual growth as condition 3. Addressing this state requires the complete mechanical removal of fungal structures from the substrate. This visual inspection utilizes the principle of the Dust Surrogate. Microscopic mold spores and fragments settle alongside household dust. By eliminating all visible dust, the remediator physically removes the microscopic spores. Consultants utilize the white glove test to verify absolute surface cleanliness. No analytical air testing is permitted until this visual gateway is cleared. Total physical cleanliness remains the only acceptable standard for passing the first PRV gateway. Once visual cleanliness is verified, the matrix moves to the second gateway, procedural evaluation. The consultant verifies that every step of the original protocol and work plan was followed exactly. The most critical procedural requirement is confirming the permanent neutralization of the underlying moisture source. Deep penetrating moisture meters and thermal imaging are used to confirm that building materials have returned to a dry state. Clearance cannot be granted if the moisture source remains active. Removing the biological hazard is ineffective without eliminating the environmental condition that caused its growth. The final PRV gateway is the analytical evaluation. Air sampling is only valid as a final verification tool after the visual and procedural gateways are cleared. 16 TAC Section 78.140 dictates the specific environmental conditions required for valid sampling. If walk-in containment was used during the project, analytical testing must occur while that containment is still in place. Sampling is performed while negative air machines are running. This creates a worst-case scenario of turbulence, forcing hidden spores into the air for detection. This aggressive sampling confirms that the indoor air has returned to condition 1, a normal fungal ecology. Passing this turbulent analytical test is the final proof of a successful remediation mission. Successful completion of the PRV Triad authorizes the generation of the CMDR. Clearing the matrix allows the independent consultant to sign Box B, certifying the contamination has been remediated. The contractor signs Box A, confirming the work was performed as outlined. The certificate is now complete. Under SB 1255, failing to secure this document while using unlicensed personnel exposes commercial property owners to severe legal liability. Following the strict PRV Triad ensures the commercial property is safe, entirely compliant, and fully protected from any future legal liability. At Envirogyn, commercial mold remediation depends on strict procedural discipline and absolute regulatory adherence. Adhering to the Texas Mold Matrix guarantees operational readiness and secures healthy spaces long-term.